I've been through over $20,000 worth of online coaching programs and courses in the last 6 months alone, at 17. And in this video, I just want to break down if I thought it was worth it, my experience in the coaching programs, and I want to give you all the key insights that I got, and overall save you a whole bunch of time, money, and set you with the right expectations just from my experience. And I'm just going to keep this very raw, not too much editing. I don't even have a script. I just have a couple of bullet points that I'm going to sort of dive into, and hopefully this is going to be valuable for somebody, right? So there are three main bullet points that I want to cover. One is what I learned, so expectations, mindset shifts, and then what you're actually paying for. Two is why I did it, so sort of my thought process when investing into these sort of coaching programs. And if you're running a program yourself, you can take some of this and use it in your marketing to hopefully get more people to sign up. And then three is, was it worth it? And then how you can actually make it worth it, right? So one is what I learned, okay? Now, a crucial point that I want to start with is that you need to acknowledge that no single coaching program or no single course is going to single-handedly save your life or make you a multi-millionaire, okay? That was certainly my mindset when I went into it. I thought that I would just buy a course, buy a coaching program, and that would be it. I would be done. I'd be a multi-millionaire in a couple of months, and I'd be financially free forever, right? And that's how I saw it. That's how most people, I think, see it. But what it really is I realized that it's just one step in the journey, right? And if you join a program or you join a course, that's just one skill that you're going to stack on top of all the other ones that you're building throughout your entrepreneurial journey, right? And I think Alex Hormozi put it best. I'll put the clip here if I find it, but he said something along the lines of that when people see huge success from a coaching program or from a course, usually it's just because that was the last brick that they had to lay in order to get their big breakthrough, right? So they were laying the bricks, laying the bridge full of bricks. The bridge is maybe 20 bricks long, and that one coaching program, it was just the last brick that they needed, right? And that's where all the business case studies come from. That's where all the business coach case studies come from. That's where all the results come from, because that was just the last thing that they needed, right? And it's not necessarily that the program bridged the whole gap, because it's very difficult for a program to do that. It's more so that it was just the last brick that you really needed, right? So now what I'm doing is my mindset is, if I just learn one thing from a coaching program that helps me save time and move forward, I think that decision was worth it, right? Another mistake that I made was when investing into a coaching program was that this sort of relates to the first point, but it's that I thought that there was some form of secret that I was missing out on by not paying for information. That is completely not true. All information is out there on YouTube for free if you're willing to look for it. The course can just give you a certain methodology and structure behind that information, and it can organize that information for you. But the truth is that in terms of like the tactics, everybody does their stuff differently. What I've noticed is that like in two of the main coaching programs that I've been in the courses, the two methodologies were completely different, right? Like for example, one coach ran his ads completely differently to another coach, but they both got results. They had different appointment setting scripts, but both of them still got results, right? So just know that there's no secret. If you join, you're not going to all of a sudden figure everything out. A lot of it is just coming to having the right principles, and then actually testing, iterating, going for a long enough period of time to collect the data in order to make sufficient moves and iterations to increase your success rate, right? So yeah, so what you're paying for is, I've realized that you're not paying for the secret information, right? What you're paying for is you're paying for the clarity, the confidence, and the guidance, right? So the clarity is that you're paying for you knowing the exact steps that you need to take, because you're paying someone that has been on the journey that you are on. And then you're paying for the guidance, so you're paying for somebody to be able to troubleshoot any issues you may face, right? And there is no shortcut. No matter what happens, you are going to have to put in the work. And the coaching program is just a means of saving you time and trading your money for just getting more time and getting to your goal quicker, right? Which is actually point two, which is the key insights. So why I bought and what I learned, right? And I think that the reason I bought is due to one main principle that I try to follow, which is that whenever I can, I try to exchange my money for my time instead of my time for my money, right? Because that is the ultimate goal. The moment that you have freedom, I believe, is when you don't have to exchange your time for money anymore, right? So I do everything that I can to do that, right? Because the money is in my bank account anyway. It's just going to depreciate with inflation with time, right? So I may as well just trade it to get some more of my time back, get to my goal faster. That's just the way I prefer to do things, right? Other than spending a year figuring something out, I can figure it out in like a day. right? Because the thing is that you can always make more money, obviously, but you can never get more time, right? Once a minute passes, it's gone. So even though I'm still 17, I think I've lost way too much time on things like video games, on things like scrolling through TikTok and doing bullshit activities like that. And, wherever I can, I'm just going to exchange money for time, right? Obviously, that is like for me personally, the only reason why I'm on this journey is because I want to get freedom. So the freedom to do whatever I want with the time that I have. And what's the point of trading my time for money then, right? The point is to get the money to be able to live my life freely and enjoy the time, right? So why can't I just do that now? And then the second reason for why I bought, right, which is something that you can implement in your own marketing, right, is because of the coach's case studies, right? Like that, I noticed that is the sole reason I bought, right? Because their case studies resonated super, super heavily, right? And I was doing some reflection on this, like, okay, what actually made me bought? Because I'm very emotional when it comes to buying. Like, I'm very easy to sell to, and I was just thinking, okay, what made me buy these courses and these coaching programs so impulsively, right? And in both scenarios, in like all the scenarios, including the courses, it was just the case studies that the people had, right? It's either that they were incredible case studies or they really, really resonated, right? So it was a person in the exact same situation as me, making the same amount of money as me, and they went through the exact transformation that I wanted to go through, right? So I think some lesson that you can take from this in your marketing is the more vividly you can paint the picture of your case study going through the transformation that you're promising your clients, the more people are going to resonate, the more people are going to sign up, right? Because people learn best through stories, and they're most influenced by stories as well. And then if you have a story of a case study that really, really resonates, I think that's going to, be the way that you just take your marketing to a whole nother level, right? Like, for example, one of my clients, Jeff, I think the reason why his content hits the way it hits, because his content really hits, is because he goes really in depth into painting the picture of what somebody's life is like. Like, his reels is literally calling out the exact avatar, like drilling super, super deep into that specific person, right? And every reel, it's a slightly different avatar, right? But he really drills down, shows that he understands that specific avatar, and due to that, these people resonate and they just sign up after watching one reel, right? After watching one, longer form video or whatever, right? Or after seeing one case study, right? Just because of how he paints these pictures. Okay, and then the last topic that I want to touch on today is if I thought it was worth it. And although I did come in with the wrong expectations at the start, partially due to just me being naive, but also due to the marketing being very aggressive and very emotional based, I think that's another problem in this space, is that like the way people market is very, very emotional, which, I mean, obviously they're going to market like that because it works, but yeah, anyways, just very emotional marketing is going to make people come in with their own expectations. Like me personally, I try to market more logically. I'm not sure if that's going to get more people to sign up. Probably not, since people are more emotional creatures, but it's definitely going to get more qualified people to show up. That's definitely true, because better business owners are more logical, and you definitely want to work with better business owners because they're going to get better results. And results is literally how you scale a business in this sort of space in 2024, right? Because credibility is everything you have. So that was a side tangent. Although I came in with the wrong expectations, I do think it was definitely worth it. Because if I didn't invest, like 20K, although it's a hefty chunk of money, to have put into online education, I do think it was worth it, right? Because ultimately, if I just learn one new thing from any coaching program, and you can learn one thing from every single coaching program or course that you're in, right? Like, no matter how shitty it is, you can learn something. Like, the worst case, you learn how not to structure your stuff, right? Um, I do think it was worth it, right? Because ultimately, I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't invest in these coaching programs, right? And I could take something from every single one of these, and I could implement it into my own business, if that makes sense. I don't think that makes sense. I could take something from every single one that helped me move forward, right? And ultimately, if that thing is even super, super small, but it still helps me save a little bit of time, move forward a little bit faster, then ultimately it's worth it, right? Because what else is that money good for, right? You do gotta analyze what's called opportunity cost, right? Because I could have invested that money into paid advertising, and that maybe would have yielded better results, right? But that money is going to get spent either way, right? And the game you're playing is where do you spend it to get the most return for your time and the most return for your money, right? So maybe I could have spent it better. I don't know. But I definitely did benefit more from buying than not buying, right? And that is ultimately what matters. So I think that's it for this video. That's what I had planned. This video was very, very raw. I hope you got some value from this conversation. If you want to learn what I do, check out my channel. It has a bunch of videos that are more edited, more on what I actually do for clients. And yeah, I appreciate you watching. I hope you enjoyed. Talk soon.